Hello and welcome back to the port. I'm the Gareth Major, and this is a review of the Italian premium Tier 5 destroyer Leone. Basically means lion in Italian. Now, Leone is the lead ship of her class, which consisted of 3 destroyers, which were built for the Italian Navy in the 1920s. Now, originally their design was as scout cruisers, which were developed, originally intended for a build in 1917, however they were delayed. Now, the ships were reclassified as destroyers in 1938, and at the outbreak of World War II, all 3 were based at Italian Ethiopia, or nowadays Eritrea. Now, obviously, by being based on the wrong side of the Suez Canal for the Italian Navy, that did mean they ended up with a early demise, with all 3 of the class being lost by April 1941. Now, this is a tier 5 and 6 game of domination on trap. On the enemy team we have a Fubuki in a division with a Warspite, a T61 in a division with another T61, a Benson in a division with Gneisenau, Trento, Izumo, and Hood. And we have Hood here. Hood's playing solo, okay. So we'll just make it a close into Charlie. Might have to reverse it just to make sure that we stay safe. Oh, detected. Fubuki. So, sorry about that. In comparison to the tech tree destroyers, survivability wise, you have a below average base HP of 13,700. You also have the standard tin can armor scheme, which means that your armor thickness is between 6 and 16 millimeters. Going on to the artillery, she has 8 4.7-inch guns mounted in 4 dual gun turrets. Now that's A turret up front, and then we have P turret and Q turret mounted amidships between the torpedo launchers and the funnels, and then we have a Y turret at the rear. Now it's worth mentioning that P, Q and Y turret all face rearwards. Now, you have the joint smallest gun caliber for the tier. You also have the highest gun count, so small gun caliber, but lots of guns to go with them. Average range of 10.5 kilometers, however, longest reload of 9.5 seconds. You also have the joint second fastest turret traverse speed, which is 18 seconds per 180 degrees of rotation. We have the Warspite here. Warspite was working with the Fubuki, which is now gone. We know we don't have the T61. Oh, here comes the Hood. So, continuing, you have the joint second lowest HE shower damage, which is 1,700. You also have the second lowest fire chance, which is 6%. Furthermore, you have the joint lowest AP shower damage, which is only 2,100. God knows if that's going to work, but let's have a chance. So, with that gun count, reload speed, and shower damages, what we're looking at? We're looking at the 4th lowest HE DPM, we're also looking at the 2nd lowest fires per minute, and the 3rd lowest AP DPM. So, she's not exactly got buckets of guns kind of work, if you get what I mean. Which is a bit of a shame, really, considering she does have all those guns. Now, I did contemplate using a gunboat commander, or trying to build a gunboat commander. However, I just found that the benefits I could make to the reload speed and things like that just weren't worthwhile at the end of the day, unfortunately. Going on to the torpedoes, she has 2 twin torpedo launchers mounted amidships. They got access to both sides, and as you can see, they're pretty reasonable torpedo angles, nothing really exceptionally special about them, I guess you could say. Now, these have the fastest reload per launcher, which is 47 seconds. Also, it's a slightly better than average reload time per tube, so that's about 23.5 seconds. However, I wouldn't necessarily say that she's a gunboat or a torpedo boat based on the stats. It seems like she's a destroyer without a home almost. Because when it comes to the torpedoes, you have a better than average reload time, as we've already mentioned. You also have the shortest detection on your torpedoes, but they're also the slowest, which means that enemies will have a reasonable amount of time to respond to incoming torpedoes if they're detected by, say, sonar or aircraft or friendly ships and such. However, should the torpedoes be detected by simply their detection range, which would be pretty much point blank, then the enemies have the shortest amount of time to respond to those incoming torpedoes. Now, they do have the longest range, which is 11 kilometers, which is quite nice. Going on to the manoeuvrability, she has the slowest top speed, unfortunately, which is only 34 knots. Furthermore, she has a just above average turning circle of 620 meters. She also has a just above average rudder shift as well, unfortunately, which is 3.4 seconds, so she hasn't got buckets of manoeuvrability. Concealment wise, she's better than average by sea, which is 6.5 kilometers, average from the air, which is 3.3 kilometers, and joint best in smoke, which is 2.3 kilometers. Now, going on to the consumables, obviously she has 2 smoke screens. These have a 26-second duration, that's how long it takes to lay a smoke screen, a 118-second dispersion, that's how long it's going to sit around for, and a 240-second reload. Now, it's worth mentioning that these smoke screens are practically the same as the smoke screens equipped on the American destroyers, so it is that long duration kind of style smoke screen, which I guess can help with your potential gun ability. However, it's always subject to your DPM, unfortunately. Now, you also have 2 engine boosts, using one now, which does improve your engine speed by 8% for 120 seconds with a 180 second reload. This will take your base speed up from 34 knots to 36.7 knots. Obviously, you can boost that a bit more with inspirations, commander skills, and battle booster flags. As always, down in the description will be the modules and the commander build. In this case, I've taken Aim Assistance Module 1 and Propulsion Module 2, pretty much a standard build. Commander wise, obviously there is not an Italian designated destroyer commander, so I've kind of had to go for the generic commander with the destroyer skills. As I mentioned, I did try playing around with going for a gunboat build, but I just didn't find I could get the reload time down enough to make it justifiable, so I kind of went for a bit more of a torpedo build, focusing on reload time and detection speed, just to try and get a bit more out of the torpedoes, because they've already got very sneaky abilities, I guess you could say. Now, it's worth mentioning, as a premium ship, she does come with a permanent camouflage. In this case, it's a Type 9, pretty much your usual Type 9, which is minus 4.5% to your detectability and plus 4.5% to the incoming dispersion, which is always quite nice. I'm just hoping we can get this capped before I have to race off after a Warspite. So, how did this game go? Well, I got lucky, I guess you could say. Managed to torpedo the Fubuki. Also managed to assist in the harassment of the hood, which flexed in. Apart from that, I've been a little bit distracted with my notes, I have to confess, and the torpedo strike on the Fubuki was rather lucky. In regards to the ship, how am I finding her? Well, as a destroyer, she's a really, I guess you could say she's a really poor hybrid, would be one way to put it. Like, she's got lots of guns, but that's about it. She's got great torpedo reload, but that's about it. Like, you don't have enough torpedoes to make her into a true torpedo boat, I feel. But then I also feel that your gun reload is so slow that you can't really make her into a true gunboat either. I think if her reload was faster, she would be a devastating gunboat. If she had more torpedoes to kind of mean that she could do a little bit more with her torpedoes, then she would be quite an interesting torpedo boat. But at the moment, she very much, like I said, she feels like a destroyer without a home. Whether this is a precedence for the potential future Italian destroyers, obviously we don't have Italian destroyers or World Warships PC as yet, so there isn't really much of a precedence set. And when you say compare, say let's take the British destroyers. If you compare the British premium destroyers to the actual tech tree ones, obviously on PC the premium destroyers came up first, and therefore if you do the compare and contrast, there's not really much of a relationship between them. Mostly British premium destroyers come with Japanese style smokescreens, unlike the tech tree ones. So obviously it means that there is subject to change. I guess one way that she could really be improved would be if she had a designated Italian destroyer commander, but of course introducing a commander for a single ship, they've done it before, I guess you could say, but why they haven't done it in this case, I'm not completely sure. Only 43,000 damage, getting first blood and devastating strike, 83 hits on target, 3 torpedo hits causing 3 floodings, plus 3 fires and 2 kills. I'll admit I played that quite passively because I was reading out of a notebook while I was playing it live. Coming third on the team, I can't really complain about that, and our top 3 are all destroyers as well, so I guess everyone did good, fair enough. Going on to the economy, and yeah, making a decent profit with just a premium count of 205,000 credits. Ship service cost of only 29,000 credits in this case, because obviously as a tier 5 she has a slightly reduced ship service cost, which does mean she has better credit earning potential. Well, if you have enjoyed this review, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and if you enjoy this content, feel free to subscribe. I'd like to say thank you to the subscribers and the patrons. Patrons' names will be appearing on the end screen. Down in the description will be the modules, commander build, email just the channel if you want to send in your own game captures, and link to Patreon if you want to support the channel on Patreon and get your lovely name appear on the end screen and a couple of other benefits. Until next time, I'm the Gav Major, and back to the port.
Hey, hey, clear the way, here comes the galloping Major. Bumpity, 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 bump. Get out of the way there, you fellows, unless you want me to run you down. Yes, this is the life. Now, hey, hey, clear the way. Here comes the galloping Major.